friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elizabeth and I share deck flip throughs, spreads, VRs, and so much more. Welcome back to another deck swap diaries. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Erenberg Tarot. If you're new here, Dezarey and I participated in a deck swap where I sent her 5 decks and she did the same. She sent me 5. And today we're going to take a closer look at the Erenberg Tarot. This is a US Games deck, so mass market. This was one of the decks that she sent to me. And this is actually a really cool deck. And I'll show you some of the cards. But I really like the color palette, and it's colorful but slightly muted. It's really pretty. The other thing that I feel is important or different with this deck is how close up everything is. Well, this isn't a good example because here we see the figure kind of far away, but most of the cards are like this, right? Up close and personal. So I really like that. There's a few decks out there that have this kind of point of view or perspective. And, some people like it, some people don't, but I'm really digging it. I've used this a few times for live readings and it reads really, really well. And I featured this deck in my July recap. And I heard back from a lot of people that are using the deck and love the deck, and I can see why. It's really cool. So what I wanted to do today was spend a little bit of extra time with it and maybe try some pairings and some readings and see how it goes. I pulled out a few decks just because I wasn't 100% sure. And, you know, it's trial and error. So let's see. This is an oracle deck. Here are the backs. And this is the I forget the name, Dream something Oracle. But I thought maybe the colors might work. So let me scooch this over. Okay, let's take a look at the deck with the Dream Ritual Oracle. First impressions, I kind of like the colors. The themes are different, of course, but this could work because the keywords here are so expansive. Now, this is a deck that I'm using for dream work currently, but I have used this deck many, many times as an oracle in readings, and it reads really, really well. The colors are cool. So yeah, different art style, but it's a possibility. Like here, the Empress with create. That's a beautiful message. Ooh. And then here we have the Seven of Pentacles with the idea of release. That's pretty cool too. So I feel like these could, energetically, they could vibe. Ooh, Four of Swords with observe. Because in the Four of Swords, you have that idea that you're taking a pause or a rest, a break. And it's the perfect time to come into your body and just observe what's going on. Well, I kind of like these. All right, let's take a look at another deck. Let's try the Fated, it's called Fated Pocket Love Oracle. So let's see. This is like a really teeny tiny mini deck, and what I'm finding is that there's a few other mini decks available. So then you would be able to pick up multiple decks and combine them. So, okay. At first I thought like this one had a lot of like earth tones that maybe It could work, but I don't feel like it's my favorite. I don't feel like it's my favorite. Although that's a pretty potent message. The devil with the released desire to control. Let's stop there. This one's a bit of a risk. So this is my cemetery oracle. And this one is ginormous. If you've never seen this one on my channel, like it's gigantic because I got the double version, you know, the both of the decks. But for this exercise, we'll just split the deck and look at part of it. I mean, I know we just looked at the devil card, but devil with avoidance, that's pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about like mixing the art with photography, but because this is um a limited color palette, it could work. Ace of Swords with a challenge being presented, a new challenge. This deck also has really expansive keywords. I mean, look at this, Knight of Cups and Betrayal. I feel like you could tell a story with these. Ooh, Three of Swords and Exploration. You think about Three of Swords energy and that pain and that heartache and the idea of threes being connected to growth and expansion, it's the perfect opportunity for some self exploration. Ooh, all right, Knight of Wands. Ooh, Knight of Wands with Misery. I feel like here I'm really being drawn to the figure that looks like she's wearing a veil, and then the positioning of the horse. So I feel like here you focus more on the horse than you do the actual knight. But it's the body language of the horse that is calling my attention here. Interesting. Ooh, King of Swords and Curiosity. This could be possible. I like these. Emperor and Decay. Ooh, that would be great for like a shadow work reading. Ooh, Eight of Pentacles with Perseverance. How cool is that? Ooh, these talk together. And I feel like the colors are not off, even though this is photographic and this one isn't. Knight of Pentacles with Temptation. Can you imagine how difficult? Because the Knight is not perfect. The Knight of Pentacles energy uh, has to struggle with a lot of different things, a lot of temptations that are trying to pull you away from the goal that's at hand. So it's really interesting. These could work. I like the vibe. Eight of Wands, right? Eight of Wands with Truth. This is an interesting Eight of Wands. So you don't see the Eight Wands, you just see, I don't know, when I first looked at this, I thought it might be the five. Eight of Wands. If you think of that Eight of Wands energy, I mean, could be quick moving energy, fast energy, or something coming at you quick and the need to, you know, kind of respond quickly or knee jerk reactions. Um, but also could be a new message coming in, right? Something new coming in. So that tied with the idea of truth is pretty cool. I feel like these could work. Oh, I like that. All right, so that's my cemetery oracle. All right, let's try Sacred Destiny. I picked this up at the last minute. And you know why? This is so silly. You know why I picked it up? Because I thought the boxes matched. The boxes are a match. So let's see. All right. Hmm, not a favorite. I mean, the keywords, they could work, but it's not my favorite. Ten of Wands and Power. I mean, the keywords work. Queen of Swords and Illumination. That's pretty powerful because the Queen comes in with clear thinking or to clear away the smog and to let you see what's really there. Four of Cups and that idea that you're missing the potential. I mean, the keywords work. I don't like the art that much, but the keywords work. Five of Wands and taking risks. Yeah. Yeah, the keywords could work. It's just not my favorite like combination aesthetically. All right, let's move on. This is another I don't know, I'll take a chance with it. It's the Spirit Animal Wisdom. This is literally my only animal deck. And I really like it. I like the art style. It might be too colorful because it's not, well, I don't know, maybe it is watercolor, but um we'll see how they look together. Hmm. I don't think this is the one. And if I'm being honest, this deck here, the animal deck, Spirit Animal Wisdom, it doesn't have a purpose in my collection other than it's an animal deck. I like the art, it's pretty. And if I pull a card, I like to read what the guidebook has to say. But it's not a deck that I use regularly. I just have it because it's a part of my collection and it's pretty. And I mean, it could work, right? Stepping into your power with the Fool. This is encouragement right here, right? Don't take a back seat in your story. It's time to step up. That's pretty cool. All right. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. This is a funky little choice, but I thought maybe with the colors it could work. And this is actually my Lenormand deck, my only Lenormand, and it's the Dreaming Way. Uh, this is a working or a learning deck. So you'll notice that I've written on it keywords and such as I've been studying Lenormand on and off. This is really beautiful together. So if you think about the Sun card, you think joy, optimism, clarity, a card of action, maybe of growth. And then you have the tree. And the key word that I have for the tree is well being. That combined with the sun energy, I mean, for me, it's like this a major invitation to put your health first and maybe to step outside and spend time in nature. Whoa, the tower with the tower. Except like in the tarot, the tower is like something coming down, something that wasn't serving you, and the universe is coming in and it's destroying it, making you kind of go back to ground zero and start fresh. The tower in Lenormand does not have that same meaning. It's tied more to, I have the keyword authority, but it's tied more, I don't know, to like agencies or buildings. But it's interesting to get them both together. Ooh, justice and choices and having that crossroads and not knowing where to go. This is kind of cool. I feel like the colors work well together. Six of Swords, which is usually the card of leaving something behind so that you can start fresh, right? Embarking on a new journey. And think about the things that we have to cut out of the way in order to make that happen. Ooh, okay, I like these together. Two of Cups and knowledge, and the idea that, well, the card is book, but my keyword is knowledge, and the door in this particular case, the door is open, the book is open. And what about when the book is closed? I don't know. Something to think about. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles with mice. Now, mice, the keyword that I have for mice is loss, because mice uh, nibble away at things until, you know, until it's destroyed, right? Until it's gone. So that idea with the Queen of Pentacles gives you something to think about. That's pretty cool. Okay, I have one last deck to try. I definitely have some, look at the disaster I just made. I definitely have some favorites. And yeah, let's take a look at the last deck. We are gonna try Roots and Wings. Now, this is an Oracle deck that has been in my collection forever and ever. And it may have been my very first indie Oracle deck. And it's great. The keywords are amazing. It's beautiful. It is rose petal finish, but I really love it. And for some reason, it gets like no use in my collection. I just rarely use it. And every time I read with it, I'm like, no, you know what? We're going to keep it. But then I don't use it. And this is like one of those like rock star decks that like matches with everything. So I was like, you know what? Let's try it and see. Let's try and see. Ooh, and the color palette is really nice. I mean, I know we already looked at the Queen, but Queen of Pentacles with Earth Mother. That's really pretty. Ooh, Nine of Pentacles with a Journey. I like that. Two of Pentacles with Breath. You can go really deep with this, right? It's a simple oracle, but I find like it goes deep. If you think of the idea of the Two of Pentacles and trying to juggle things, keep everything up in the air and remain, keep your composure and not drop the ball on the things that you're working on, and the importance of finding your breath. Ooh, the Hierophant with good fortune. I guess it depends who you ask. Nine of Swords. What a nice idea this is, that if you're having this moment here, this Nine of Swords moment, that you could perhaps visualize yourself drifting, right? This is a meditation, and meditation helps to clear that fogginess. Ooh, Page of Wands and intuition. It's kind of like that reminder to pay attention, always stay connected with that gut instinct or that gut feeling, because a lot of times with that page energy, you just want to just, they're a bit greener behind the ears, right? So, or what is that expression? Wet behind the ears. I hear that. I always think that's funny, but that's kind of how they are, right? They want to just jump into everything because they're, so passionate and excited about learning new things. So that's a great reminder. Ooh, Five of Pentacle with transformation. These are interesting. The Lovers and the Page of Swords. If you consider the Lovers here as a choice. Think about what that message could be like with the Page of Swords. And then the other thing too, let me bring this card just a little bit closer. Can you see in the sun? It looks like there's an eyeball, but instead of tears, there's clouds coming at it, right? It's like releasing, I don't know, maybe like releasing the things that are maybe foggy or unclear, or that idea when you hold on to something, there's a little bit of distance between these two figures. I don't know. There's something to be taken away from this. I'm curious now. Hold on. This comes with a little fold out, so no guidebook, but I wanted to share what it says for the Lovers card. A card about choosing love or fear. Ooh, that's pretty cool. You can choose to live out of love or live in resistance to love. One opens the heart while the other one closes it. I love that so much because the idea of making your choices or your decisions from the heart, right? Heart based, as opposed to fear based. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, the colors look really good together and the artwork is different, but again, the keywords are very expansive. Now, look here, we have the lovers on this side with storm. Again, very interesting. So, I don't know. It's hard to decide which one is my favorite. There were a lot. I mean, definitely, I think what that tells us is that the deck is versatile and works with many different oracles, but also great on its own. Okay, it's not really as slippy as it seems. Just for some reason, it's slipping out of my hands. This deck has really cool card backs. All right. I don't know if I can choose a favorite, but I feel like there's a few that you know, could work. So how about if we, do a spread? Friends, if you love tarot and this content resonates with you, please make sure to like and subscribe. Tap the bell icon so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it. So I think what we're going to do is pair it with the Cemetery Oracle. So we'll keep it simple. Let me move this one out of the way. And I'm going to give the deck a shuffle and we'll pull some cards. So how about if we pull a card on what we're doing well and then pull a card on what we can do better. All right, doing well. Here and doing better. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It never fails. Like every time I set out to do like a quick reading or a simple reading, it turns into something like this. All right. So for doing well, we have the Hierophant. So I'm going to choose one additional card. Wowzers. And then do better. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's take a closer look. So doing well, we have the Hierophant. This is card number 5. And if we remember from the archetype series, number 5 is usually kind of tied to that idea of maybe challenge, a conflict, growth, and the Hierophant, right? A lot of people would go to this type of energy for guidance. Um, Maybe if we think of this figure here like a teacher, it could be a spiritual teacher. If you're a light worker, it could be that you're in a place or in a situation where people come to you. They come to you for support or for advice or for guidance, and we take on a lot. And so it's important to really ground ourselves, but also to make sure that we have proper protections in place so that we're not absorbing other people's anguish. And if you could see here, the figure has his eye squinted. So, what we're doing well, I see this as potentially someone who is doing some kind of light work, whether you are doing cards, or you are doing sound healing, or you are leading meditations, or anything along those lines. Doing well, protecting yourself, grounding yourself, making sure that you're not picking up other people's energies, and helping them to release those feelings of anguish. So I really like that here. This is something that we're doing well. And then over here, doing better. Well, we have the devil and boundaries. So the devil cards immediately associated with uh, maybe addictions, things I would consider like things on the earthly realm that we find ourselves getting attached to and have a difficult time living without. But it's suiting the ego mind. It's not necessarily what's in our own best interest. And so, doing better, we have this devil energy with boundaries. So, I feel like immediately this is a call out to make sure that you have proper boundaries in place, and not just having boundaries in place, but also enforcing the boundaries and periodically reviewing your boundaries and seeing if they are still in alignment with who you are in that moment in time. Very interesting and very powerful. Yeah, overall, I really like this deck. I find that it reads really, really well for a mass market deck. I mean, it's terrific. It's terrific. I like the close up. I mean, here, look at the synchronicity, the close up, look at the look on the Hierophant, and then the look of this figure here from the close up, the sadness, the weight, and the weight that the Hierophant could potentially carry if not dealt with properly. With the devil, I can't help but notice those eyes. I feel like the eyes are piercing. It's like they look right into your soul. It's like looking into yourself and knowing that you cannot lie to yourself. You know what's there. You know what's there. You know what you're tied to. You know what you're bonded to. And you know if it's something that you could potentially release over time because it's going to be better for you. With the call out of boundaries, this is super cool. Yeah, I like these decks together. So good. Let's try the same reading with roots and wings. So I'm going to pull out 2 new cards. All right, so here's doing good. And then doing better. Okay. Now let's give this one a shuffle and see what we get. All right. A card for doing well. and a card for doing better. Ooh. So interesting that both times we have gotten Pentacles here. So doing well, we have King of Pentacles. Well, that's a very evolved, mature energy, right? This is someone who has worked hard over time to get to where they are. They have found the coin. They've been able to multiply the coin and provide for loved ones, provide for self, provide for others, and kind of leave a legacy behind. And I feel like a big part of this is this card here, seasons, right? Because things ebb and flow. Nothing remains like high abundance for forever, right? Or even like hard times. We don't fall on hard times and stay there forever either. There's a season for everything. So if you think about it, I kind of see that as this idea of being really, really smart with your money and conserving for a rainy day or saving for a rainy day, not just like, whoa, I came into all this cash flow and now I could go crazy, and take that vacation that I wanted, and I could buy that diamond ring, and I could, do all these things. No. So this is what we have for doing good. And then doing better, we have the Nine of Pentacles with the Death card. With the Nine of Pentacles, this is usually a card of fulfillment, right? Of achieving the thing that you have been working so hard to get over time, kind of sitting in your power and being in that abundant state or that flow state. Look at all of the grapes. So then with the Nine of Pentacles, we have a death and the reminder that not everything lasts forever. Okay, all good things come to an end, right? If this is too good and this is too better, then maybe we need to be doing something better with that harvest. This could be a reminder to share. This could be a reminder to, like here, save for a rainy day. This could be a reminder not to get too bold or overconfident in what you have or too connected with material goods. It could be a lot. This is a really cool reading. I really like this deck. So let me know in the comments, do you have this deck? And how do you use it? How does it read for you? Do you pair it? What did you think of my pairings? I would love to know. Please make sure to leave your comments below. I look forward to engaging with you all in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.